This video has been sponsored by Skillshare.
I have spent countless hours going through different options, hair colors, skin tones, body types, and finally, I've done it. The character I'll be spending the next 270 hours playing as. My ideal waifu. The fruit of all my labor. And she's...
Hello, player. Are you ready to begin your quest?
The fuck is this?
I've been animated.
From MapleStory to Mies, creating and customizing your own character has been a staple in gaming ever since you had to do it with a pencil and paper.
You rolled a 6. Looks like you're a dwarf.
And as gaming continued to evolve, so did our shitty self-inserts and ways to put them in our favorite games. You got countless facial features, height, weight, boob sliders, crotch sliders. This guy just made Kanye West. But while a lot of games give the player the option to create their own character, I feel like more often than not it ends up taking a backseat to the actual game. Like, Cyberpunk has this whole ass dick editor with circumcision options and everything, but you play the game almost entirely in first person. So what is the point?
Oh, now I get it. Oh, shit.
So what about games where making the character is the whole game? Growing up as a kid, the games that left a lasting impact on me were always the weird and obscure. And while this first game isn't that necessarily, you can definitely make it that way. Drawn to Life? I wonder what you do in it. Developed by Fifth Cell in 2008, Drawn to Life had one of the coolest concepts I've seen in gaming. And still kinda does. It's been like, what, 12 years since that game dropped, and I have yet to see anyone tackle and execute that whole concept as well as Drawn to Life did. In the game, you play as God, as you are summoned by the people of this town to create a hero to fight off the darkness, and also find pages from your Bible or something. I remember this part of the Old Testament. Gameplay-wise, it's a pretty average platformer. Clear stages to save the townspeople, then collect pages to finish the level. But let's face it, no one's playing this game because they want to collect pages. It's so you can draw characters. As a kid, I remember the character creator just blowing me away. Like, the concept of being able to draw pretty much anything you want and then see it move on the screen in real time was wild. In terms of the editor itself, it's pretty straightforward. Lines drawn within the boundaries will skew and rotate on the screen as the character moves. There are multiple color palettes, templates, and the game even lets you go pixel by pixel for smaller details. Honestly, the only real downside is any character you do decide to draw has to fit this humanoid template. So, sorry to anybody with a persona that has multiple limbs, I'm sure you'll find a different way to ruin this game. Overall, not a bad character creator, but still kind of limiting. Spoiler alert, it's not that amazing. Amazing Island was a GameCube title developed by Sega that featured some really nuanced character creation for the time. Also, I am lying. Just like Drawn to Life, I remember spending long hours just designing original characters and even existing ones. The only issue here is, this shit is definitely not as fun as I remembered. The story of this game is your typical isekai. You play as this character, Andy, who is teleported to another world because he checked out a book at the library. I guess it's better than getting hit by a truck. After you arrive, the villagers ask you to save them from, you guessed it, only the second most generic name to give your main antagonist since the darkness, the Black Evil. Hey yo, solid 10 out of 10 naming convention. Like, you can tell someone didn't spend more than 5 minutes thinking that up. After saving one of the villagers, you're then taken to the Hall of Life to design a creature that can fight off this fucking Goya bean. And honestly, I kind of have mixed feelings about the whole process of designing a character in this game. Similar to Drawn to Life, characters are designed via drawing. However, unlike that game, everything is in 3D, which on paper sounds pretty straightforward and intuitive. But like, damn dude, it's wild how this is arguably a pretty sophisticated character creator, but everything you make just ends up looking like the fucking Sonic ice cream bar. Creating your monster starts with choosing a frame that you draw over to form a base. Different frames are unlocked as you progress through the story, with everything from humanoid silhouettes to, of all things, hamsters. After everything is finally drawn and inflated, you can then change the pattern or add accessories, things like wings, horns, realistic human hands. For some reason, same as the frames, a lot of these are unlocked as you fight off the Black Evil, or can be purchased at different shops throughout the island. Alright, cool, so you got your monster. Now, what do you do with it? It's a fucking minigame collection. Man, I'll be honest, a lot of these minigames are not as fun as I remembered. Too many of them are recycled throughout the entire campaign, and they just feel like, what, rejected Mario Party concepts? And while the character creator is impressive for what it is, it has definitely not aged well. Maybe the crippling responsibilities of adulthood have caused me to be not as creative as I used to be. But don't get me wrong, as wonky as that character creator is, I'll admit those limitations definitely force you to be more creative, resulting in some pretty impressive monster designs. Highly recommend if you just want to spend a night with some friends making atrocities. Alright, so here's where things get a little more interesting. Okay, so first, take Amazing Island's frame system and just toss that shit away. And boom, just an infinitely better game in all aspects. Graffiti Kingdom's character creator is pretty much Baby's first 3D modeler. Similar to Amazing Island, shapes and body parts are drawn, then inflated. The only difference now is you are no longer restricted to following a preset frame. And also, things that you make arguably look a lot better now. Okay, maybe not that one. After your model is finished, you can then assign different walk cycles, attacks, and voices to be used in the campaign, which is a kinda subpar beat 'em up. I'm starting to see a theme here. While making these characters is fun and engaging, the actual gameplay itself is just okay. You play as Prince Pixel, attempting to restore his kingdom after literally unleashing Satan. Yeah, I didn't think the plot was gonna go there either. I thought this was just gonna be some cutesy beat 'em up where you could draw little ding-dongs and stuff, but no, you unleash Satan, and it's canon that all of humanity has been hunted down by demons. That is the thing. The list of games where Satan is now an antagonist continues with Dante's Inferno, Diablo 3, and now Graffiti Kingdom, in his most biblically accurate depiction yet. This dude deadass looked like his parents were Charizard and Waluigi. As I mentioned before, gameplay is just okay. It's not bad, but it's not super engaging either. A lot of the time it just boils down to defeat all the enemies in this room and then unlock a door. Coincidentally enough, that's how I get around my house too. There are some light RPG elements, which is pretty cool. As you defeat more enemies, you level up, unlocking more tools in the character creator. But one of my favorite things about this game was the community surrounding it. I remember as a kid just going through countless videos of people showcasing all their different creations. And like, the stuff people can make with a PS2 controller and some preset animations was honestly crazy. And with the release of a spiritual successor in the form of a mobile app, I'm glad to see Graffiti Kingdom hasn't completely fallen into obscurity. Overall, definitely the best of the 3 games, and I highly recommend it for anyone with a lot of time and creativity. I'll agree that making characters is fun, but what's a character without a story? That's where today's sponsor, Skillshare, comes in. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. And as someone who has a channel that mainly revolves around storytelling and talking about past experiences, I highly recommend Social Media Success, Video Storytelling on YouTube and Beyond, hosted by Lily Singh. The course covers multiple topics, of which I still kind of struggle with today, despite being on YouTube for God knows how long. Things like finding your authentic voice, connecting with your audience, and balancing humor and sincerity. All of which are pretty important skills that you could adapt to other things and not just YouTube. Lucky for you guys, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get 30% off an annual premium membership so you can explore your creativity. And even if you've already had a free trial of Skillshare, you can still take advantage of this offer to get a full year of unlimited learning, and so you can check out Lily Singh's new course. So that's all I got. Make sure you guys check the link in the description, and thanks again, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Also, huge thank you to all my patrons, especially Pantsless Pajamas and Geared Aussie. You guys are great, and I really appreciate your support. Also, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll probably see you guys never, because I left for the store to get a gallon of milk, and I'm not coming back. All right, bye.